Hello ninjas and ninjettes, it's Peabutnutterninja, and today we are watching some Smite beta. In fact, we are watching the 10K PAX East tourney footage, and this is going to be an epic battle between Root Gaming and Curse Gaming. This is their first battle that they played on March 22nd on Friday, and I have a special friend with me. I have TDOTCRFH4. He has a YouTube channel focused on Smite and Smite replays as well, so definitely check out his channel. I'll be linking it and annotating it during the video, so say hi T-Dot.
Hi, T-Dot.
It's good to hear from you. And so let's do quick introductions for both teams. Right now we have Root on the left side, the blue team, and we have Anatoly on Ymir. We have Xing, the carry, left lane carry Artemis, one of his favorite gods to play. We have Jerby in mid lane on Alquang, and we have Allied and Lazis in right lane as Odin and Poseidon.
And then the red team for Curse, we have Zetman on Anhur, Sparks on Sobek, Shadowq on Guan Yu, the best, living up to his name, as Loki in mid lane, and he's heading to the red buff with some teammates following him, including Pon, the MVP from the whole tourney.
And that's going to be a great battle. A lot of big names, a lot of streamers, a lot of famous Smite players, if you can say that. And I'm interested to see exactly how far they can take this team in the future. But right now, we are in the middle of this battle. And you can see there's an interesting tactic going out on left lane. Root throwing out down those early wards to prevent an early Gold Fury. Because Curse did end up taking that early Gold Fury against Myoelectric early in the tournament.
Yeah, that's something you see a lot with teams that do well, is you want them to kind of prevent the same strategy from being used against them. And I think Root's kind of smart for not taking the bait there.
It's a very clever strategy. Again, fighting a war that they don't want to lose an early Gold Fury, especially to Curse Gaming. Any type of lead given to Curse, they will definitely take advantage of. So you can see them just doing their respective buffs here. Double buff on the right side for Root. And you can actually see the Sobek and Anhur. They're crossing mid lane here and crossing the Gold Fury, trying to steal this blue buff. But unfortunately for them, Ymir and Artemis have already taken blue, and this is actually going to put them at a huge level disadvantage, losing one whole wave of creeps.
And speaking of level advantage, you actually see some risky things going on in the middle lane here. We've got Alquang building Doom Orb and Loki building Heartseeker. So both players in mid are taking a very big sort of all or nothing strategy right from the start, and they both cannot afford to leave the lane for any real length of time, and they certainly can't afford to die.
Exactly. Those builds so risky. Once you die, you lose all your stacks. It is all or nothing in this game. And we can see some type of harass going on down in left lane. Artemis with that blue buff, just able to keep using her suppressed insolent, harassing that Sobek to no end. And it looks like Anhur is just going to keep pushing, trying to defend. They are losing gold in that tower, and this is actually going to secure an early gold lead for Root. And again, Artemis getting some wonderful skill shots off on the Anhur Sobek at the same time.
And right now it's just a matter of suppressing the enemy and making them lose minions. And right now it's very much going in Root's favor, especially with Loki losing the mana and minion push in mid.
And in left lane, Artemis almost getting that Sobek. She does get a freeze off with that Ymir, and a Transgressor's Fate, but Sobek able to escape with about 150 health.
Oh yeah, Sobek, probably one of the hardest characters in this game to actually catch.
Exactly. There's nothing harder to catch than a crocodile in his territory. I watch the Discovery Channel. I know these facts.
Oh yeah, definitely. Those things are scary. You ever see them like jump up and grab an antelope or whatever?
I know.
Terrifying.
And the twist and the damage is just ridiculous. Crocodile is very scary. I don't know if the Nile River actually houses crocodiles, but I'm sure if they did, it'd be very scary. And actually, check out mid lane. There's Alquang versus Loki. Loki's very low, does not have any heal pods. And oh, he barely dodges the ultimate from Alquang. And Loki, is he going to be able to get out? He does need a back, but do you think he can? There's no one to really assist him.
No, he's going to lose a lot of progress, a lot of gold here in the mid lane if he heads out of there. I think he's actually going to try to stick around, though, it looks like.
Oh no, can end pretty badly for Loki if he plays it out wrong. And in left lane, Artemis Ymir still pushing out, and it looks like Sobek is positioning himself to maybe engage this with a charged prey.
Alright, we'll see how this goes. He's trying to get past the minions, and he whiffs it and gets frozen.
Oh no, he does get Frost Breath, he does get slowed, and Artemis now fighting that Anhur. Anhur is level 5 before Artemis, and oh, Desert Fury
Holy
coming
crap.
out. gets all 8 spears on that Artemis. One spear miss could have allowed her to escape, but wonderful counterplay by Zapman on here.
Yeah, gets his ult at just the right time and just executes everything perfectly.
So Curse with an early lead in EXP, they're out here level 6, but if you notice, Root Gaming actually still holds the gold advantage about 100. This is pretty negligible, but if this can keep snowballing, Curse will definitely have the gold advantage if they keep getting the kills.
Yeah, the only thing holding Curse back as far as their gold is the mid lane right now. Loki had to get out of there for a while, and he's been losing the push for some time, but now he's starting to push back.
Very, very solid, very defensive gameplay coming out on mid lane. And right lane just holding the tower okay. I mean, Poseidon and Odin just have so much push against Guan Yu and Thor. Poseidon able to clear the waves so easily, and unfortunately, Guan and Thor just have to stay and hug the tower unless they want to get Kraken to death.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now, it just looks like Loki did finally recall, or he went for some gold buffs, as he doesn't really have too much to do against that Ao Kuang. He does have that burst damage to his advantage, but unless Loki really has any support to go on that Ao Kuang, he can't really kill him in actually one hit. And it looks like Ymir on left lane. Level 5. Ymir is really under-leveled for this game, the lowest level on Root Gaming, and he's going to try to fight himself a lion at level 6.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's see. Right lane losing some ground on Root side. The minions were pushed to the tower, but no one is really over there right now.
So it looks like Curse trying to be a little bit aggressive, trying to maybe force Root into corner. And there's a crocodile and a lion on the left lane pulling the Ymir. Ymir gets a frost breath off. In here using Desert Fury again, hitting Ymir with about 6 out of those 8 spears. Disperse coming down, and Artemis coming in for a gank. Caledonian Board comes out, and here uses Fury Beads. And a wonderful Transgressor's Fate. That's Sobek taking so much damage from the tower and Artemis combined.
And in a sudden bit of reversal, suddenly Curse is on the run.
Exactly.
got to back off a little bit.
Exactly. So now Artemis level 8, out-leveling that end here. Do you think Artemis will be able to get this end here? Oh, this Poseidon is shifting in left lane.
Oh.
Oh, and release the Kraken. Oh, he ages it just in time.
Yeah. Still dies, though. Still dies.
Exactly. After that Kraken, there was nothing left for Anhir to do but just die. And so now Root up 2-1 in kills and a little bit up in gold. Now about a 1k gold lead. And let's see if they can really capitalize this on throughout the game. And so how are the builds doing right now? Ao Kuang did finish his Doom Orb.
Loki did finish his Heartseeker.
Exactly. So I'm very interested to see how this mid lane battle really turns out. The first one to die in mid lane harms their team just so much, and it's like
everything else just kind of standard, starting items and boots. So yeah, that's really going to come down to mid.
And it looks like there's going to be an engage. Oh no, I thought it was engage in right lane, and actually it does look like they're going to engage in right lane here. Thor and Guan Yu finally getting some action, starting to get their trigger fingers a little itchy. Odin a little bit far out, Poseidon playing really far back, and a Tectonic Rift coming out, doing a lot of damage on that Odin. Guan Yu is going ultimate, he's doing Tactician's Advantage. A wonderful ultimate coming out on that Odin. And
here comes Thor.
And here comes Artemis as well, and Thor just has to back out, knowing 3-on-1's never good in his favor. Him being an expert at math knows 3 is greater than 1. cleverly backs out on the right lane. But Poseidon's going to stay out here with no mana, and that's going to be dangerous, especially against a Thor who's capable of so much burst damage. Oh, Berserker's Barrage coming out, Poseidon in less than half. He needs to back out, but he's just dancing around his minions.
And yeah, and Thor, once he gets up in your face, you're pretty much done with, even if you have speed like Poseidon does. And it looks like this is going to be over fairly quickly. And
Poseidon getting killed, Curse Gaming picking up a kill from Lazis, who actually plays very well, but that was very poor play. He should have just ran. He was trying to use the minions to focus down that Thor, but again, that Thor just has so much HP early on, and really costing Root that early kind of lead. Now it's pretty balanced. Oh, Artemis chasing Anhir in the left, and picks him off with a Suppress the Insolent.
Oh yeah.
And that was an amazing double lane, kind of split damage and kills. They're not very coordinated right now, but they're each individually getting their kills, doing their damage, and making good plays on at least Root side so far. Yeah, and
it seems like a lot of just reckless pushing on Root's part. I don't know what was going on there in right, and I guess it seemed to work out for them in left because Artemis was pushed well beyond the minions, but she got the job done. Yeah.
And it's fantastic so far. There's going to be a tank-on-tank battle. No one's going to die from that on left lane. In right lane, Poseidon is by himself again, and this Thor's looking to gank, but they do have that ward coverage, and it looks okay. Mid lane's getting a little bit crowded. I think that Ao Kuang is playing very passively, knowing that a double ulti from Loki and on here is instant death. Odin getting caught out in right lane, and it looks like a battle's about to ensue here. Guan Yu's Tactician advantage comes out, silences the Odin at least. Poseidon playing really far back, not wanting to get caught out. And again, a wonderful ultimate. Ring of Spears coming down. Guan Yu avoiding this, and we're actually going to go slow motion here. And Loki getting, Ao Kuang getting picked off by the Loki. Odin is now going to get killed. A Kraken coming out, killing the Loki, stunning the Anhir and Thor. Odin very low, he needs the back. He does not need to turn around like that. He gets him a kill. Artemis Caledonian Board Camp coming out, killing that Thor. And they are going to chase this Anhir and Guan Yu, both less than half health, about a quarter health. If they can get one slow or anything to just slow them just a little bit, Artemis will secure those kills with 2 hits. But I'm going to move it back up to 1x speed as they run away here.
Oh, they've got nothing. And the thing is, both of the characters would normally have a lot of slows and stuns at their disposal, but Poseidon, Artemis, just everything on cooldown.
Exactly, they have nothing to chase them with, and Anhir and Guan Yu so low. Odin making a bad call by staying in the fight. He just needed to back out as soon as that started. And again, a tank versus tank battle in left lane. No one doing any damage to each other. They're just playing with each other. They're just poking each other, having fun.
Just kind of having a sissy slap fight, neither of them really able to do enough damage.
And Anhir actually came back in mid lane with low health against the Artemis. He is going to escape here with just a sliver of his life, but that mid tower is going to take some damage. Artemis is getting focused on in the mid lane with the Thor and Guan Yu. Is she going to be able to escape this? I don't know. There's 3 people now chasing her.
She has no mana.
So she has nothing to slow them with, but she does have that sprint buff, and it looks like she's going to get safely home, at least to kill these Gold Furies. Again, these Gold Furies, they're harmless, they're endangered, and Artemis is just murdering them just because she needs the EXP and gold. And I guess that is what they call the penalties of war. And so far, it looks like everything's resetting here. Everyone's back up from death, and Odin pushing right lane, Ymir holding left lane, and Ao Kuang and Poseidon in mid lane. And this Loki is looking at this Ao Kuang very hungrily.
Oh yeah, Loki pretty much always hungry, I would have to say. And here we go.
And it looks like he was trying to do some damage, but Ao Kuang again playing to his tower. In right lane, there's actually an engage going on. Poseidon and Guan Yu, Thor up in the air. He does stun that Odin, and Odin using Ring of Spears, trapping Sobek and Thor inside. And it looks like Poseidon and Odin just barely going to escape here. And Loki even coming to the right side. So that would have been a bad exchange if they had decided to stay and fight. And it looks like Ao Kuang finally shifting from the mid lane to right lane. And now Thor is backing out here. Guan Yu looking in the jungle. Sobek and Loki now warding up that right side. Look at the ward control from Curse Gaming on the right side. 3 wards deep into Root's territory. And it looks like Anatoly's buying more wards to counter ward any of that. Artemis solo laning left lane. Artemis, look at this. She's level 13. And she's on left lane. And she actually outlevels the Ao Kuang and the Loki, who's in mid lane. Mid lane generally has the level advantage throughout the game.
Yeah, it kind of tells you just how well they're doing in left right now. I don't know if it's really going to matter in the long run, but for the time being, Artemis is doing very, very well.
And maybe she might be the deciding factor late into this game, capable of doing just so much damage.
And it looks like Loki is starting to head toward left lane. We could be having some action here. Oh, never mind. He changed his mind.
And knowing that huge creep wave coming, Loki is going to clear this. Ao Kuang is actually going left lane here. And nope, he is just dancing around so far. Again, Curse with so much ward control, they know exactly where all the Roots members are. And it does look like Loki is coming hard on left lane. And that Sobek might go down here in left lane. And Sobek does go down to Artemis and Ymir. But guess what? Loki is here with the Heartseeker. Ultimate coming down on Artemis. Artemis does Aegis, but she's going to get stomped on by a lion. and that's probably not a very good feeling. And oh, this Ymir is trapped between a pillar and a rock wall.
He traps himself, but perfectly timed Aegis there, but it's not enough.
And a wonderful ultimate coming out, Ao Kuang killing that on here, and can he get this Loki? Ao Kuang has no mana to engage. And it looks like Ao Kuang is gonna not be able to chase this Loki down, but it was a 2-for-2 exchange, I believe.
And neither of the deaths are from the risky characters in mid, so really no harm, no foul on either side.
And we actually missed another death on right lane for Poseidon. We won't rewind for that, but unfortunately it was at the same time that that Curse went and engaged on left lane. So now Root Gaming only has a 1 kill lead, and their gold lead is diminishing. It is now just 500. This is a neck and neck game throughout the entire time.
And it looks like Thor and Guan Yu have decided to engage on Odin. I don't think they're going to be able to really do much.
And they are tower diving actually real hard, and they do.
Oh, they do.
Odin,
wow.
Odin definitely overextended against 2 people capable of doing a lot of harass, a lot of damage. Poseidon going out alone, and he needs an adult because he should not be engaging 2 big boys that can destroy him. All his health gone, and in the course of 1 ultimate and 1 spin from Thor.
Yeah, and they paid the price for that earlier. Pon demonstrating his mastery of basic arithmetic and skills of the game that made him truly the MVP of this tournament.
Mid lane and Loki assassinating Ao Kuang on her, jumping through the wall, and look at that, a wonderful combination, just picking off the Ao Kuang in mid lane.
Oh, and that's big. I think that's actually the first death between our 2 mid players. And so right there we've got the risk reward system finally coming into play with Ao Kuang going down.
Oh, and Artemis is getting ganked by this Loki. She does throw it on a trap. There's a Thor, a wild Thor appears. Poseidon, Kraken comes and kills that Loki. Thor is chasing that Artemis, and we're going to slow down here just a little bit. That's Sobek using Lurking in the Waters, killing that Artemis. Odin coming in to assist, but right now they are down to their main DPS. And Ymir going in here, maybe trying to freeze. He freezes a Lion. That Lion is slowed. He does use his Pure Beast to get out. Poseidon using a Tidal Surge to just knock them back, but I don't think Root can pick up any more kills here. And they lost 2 in this battle, but they were able to pick up that Loki with a set of Heartseekers, so it is pretty advantageous. I'm going to set it back to 1 times, as it looks like Curse might get a free Gold Fury out of this.
Yeah, it really does, and Root here would probably want to try and steal the... Oh, never mind, they're not even going to Gold Fury. Scratch that thought.
Exactly. I guess they realized that there's a Poseidon here, he can do a lot of damage to us, might as well just push and reset. They do have numbers. They do have 4 on 3 rather. And it looks like everyone is back up. It looks like they're just going to try and reset to do more laning, more teamfights. And again, look at this gold lead. It is just 200 for Curse Gaming now, but it's so negligible, and it's just a neck and neck game for both sides here right now.
And since both Ao Kuang and Loki died, the Doom Orb Heartseeker Gambit is kind of back to the start, so we're still really just in one big game of chicken. It's who can kill the mid first.
Exactly. And at 15 minutes, 16 minutes in, we can expect to see some Gold Fury play. Ymir in left lane, kind of getting chased by this Crocodile, but he's going to smartly just back to tower. Frost Giants are afraid of water because they melt in water, so they don't want to engage in these against the Crocodile, who can create a pool underneath him. Let's see, in mid lane, just Ao Kuang just holding it, trying to get some stacks. Loki as well, just trying to get some stacks for his Heartseeker. And it's a stack on stack battle right now. And it looks like they are migrating to mid here. We might see a huge engage coming very shortly. No, it looks like mid lane is out of place. Look at this, Poseidon and Ymir still off on the side lanes. They can get picked off easily if they're not careful here. And Poseidon's smartly backing out in right lane, knowing that Thor is coming, even though he did have vision in the jungle, so that was a good key factor in Poseidon retreating. And so it looks like it's going to a 1-3-1 format, as we see Artemis going to engage that on here in left, Poseidon holding that lane against Thor in right. And it looks like both Odin and Ymir deciding to hang out against Guan and Sobek. At this late point in the game, definitely the focus is going to be on the objectives. Who's going to start the Gold Fury? Who can really take that? Who can bait the other team? And uh-oh, it looks like mid is kind of caught out, and they are converging. Odin jumping through right on that tower. It looks like he's going to be able to hold this mid tower, no problem. And right now, Poseidon and Ymir both out of place, and oh, looks like they just backed. And if anything, it looks like Curse is going to start this Gold Fury very soon.
Hopefully. Something's got to break soon.
Exactly. Both these teams are a little bit skittish. They're just playing really defensively. No one really wanting to instigate on the other. Otherwise, what could happen is death for that tank, and that would really harm their chances of getting an objective like Gold Fury or Fire Giant. And so we can see everyone just kind of roaming the sides, just pushing the lanes back and forth. Artemis getting her farm, now level 16. Loki level 17 on the Curse Gaming side, and no one else level 16. So the levels, again, just very close. Ymir and Odin level 12. The tanks, Sobek and Guan on Curse are 13. So again, it is very, very close so far. And again, they're just poking back and forth. Loki clearing out this mid lane. Ao Kuang just kind of clearing out some of these buffs here. And it looks like the red team, Curse Gaming, is going to Gold Fury right now, seeing if they can actually poke. Let us go put our eyes on Artemis, see what she sees. And uh oh, that Poseidon is far pushed in mid lane, and that could be bad news for him. So focusing on Poseidon. Loki going right for the Poseidon, but able to back out just in time. And uh-oh, Artemis, Ymir, and Odin coming in back. Like, why are you getting taken out? Going at half speed so you can catch all this action. That Thor and Guan Yu both in trouble. They both get taken out early by Root Gaming. Now, Root Gaming does have the advantage. They can take the Gold Fury if they want. Let's see if they squander this. I'm going to resume it back to 1 times to make sure that we can see if they do pull these guys. Crocodile's coming from the side and going back to half speed. Oh, that Loki looking to focus down the Artemis, and it looks like Artemis ages just in time. Again, still going in slow-mo, watching that Loki trying to do some damage. Sobek is now frozen, but I don't think they'll be able to do much damage besides this. Again, look at the Artemis just laying down the firepower on that Sobek. And let's resume back to 1 times here. That middle tower does get taken. It's going to favor Root a lot, but uh-oh, let's slow back down to half times. And Sobek coming out with Lurking in the Waters, trying to kill that Artemis and Odin. And look at that wonderful tail whip. And Poseidon is out of place. He can get killed. Uh-oh. That Loki looks like he's going for something. He actually going for the Ao Kuang. And it looks like the Poseidon helped Loki secure that kill on their own Ao Kuang.
Hey, I'm sorry. I think I got out of sync with you a little while back there.
Okay.
I forgot the forward button doesn't work.
Uh-oh. Okay, so right now I'm gonna pause the game, and I'm at 1953, and
okay. Let me go back a bit.
Okay, so I see this Loki and initiating on this Poseidon right here, and let me know when you have it so we can resume.
Okay.
Hi guys, sorry about that. We had a little bit of technical difficulties here, but now everything is resolved, and guys, we have it freeze framed on Loki about to punch Poseidon in the face with his blades. And guys, let us start on action. And it looks like Loki almost killing the Poseidon. Oh, he's going stealth here. Ymir misses his freeze. And oh my goodness, is Poseidon going to be able to get away? No, he gets killed by that Loki. And oh, this Ymir's in a little bit of trouble. That Odin trapped in tower. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and dive this Odin. And oh, that Odin getting killed by that Sobek.
And there we go. And that was some smart play by the best, because it looked like he actually popped his beads. So even if Ymir had landed his freeze, he would have been immune to it.
That is fantastic play from the best at mid, and it looks like Curse Gaming is going to be able to secure a free Gold Fury. All 4 of Root's Gaming's team down, and only Ymir able to contest. And again, he doesn't have the DPS to really steal or kill that Gold Fury, so he's just playing in mid lane. And it looks like Curse Gaming now with a 1.2k gold lead and with a substantial level lead like this. Loki at level 19, and the highest level on Root Gaming is 17 with Ao Kuang. So we can see that this is starting to snowball very slowly in Curse's favor.
Yeah, and it looks like right now Ymir is just getting out of dodge rather than having to try and defend 5v1 in the middle lane. That probably feels kind of familiar.
Exactly, that Ymir smartly just backing out here. If he were to stay and try to defend that tower, he will surely get killed. And giving Curse Gaming another kill is worse than just losing that tower and grouping up. And it looks like Curse might be actually setting up for a Fire Giant here. And let's take a look.
Sure looks like it.
And so if Curse does get this Fire Giant, then it's going to be GG for Root Gaming, because Curse can push all the towers. Right now they're even in tower kills, just mid towers down for both teams, but it can quickly spiral out of the control if Curse Gaming secures that Fire Giant buff.
Now, they don't seem to have gone for it, though. They seem to have just sort of spread out a bit. We've got a little bit of an engage going on in the right lane, though.
Okay, let us see how this pans out. Guan and Thor loving that right lane. Odin and Poseidon hugely underleveled. That Thor level 17, that Poseidon only 16. And it looks like Artemis in left lane, she might actually run into a crocodile accidentally. No, she spots him just in time and she says, no, not today. I do not want a crocodile biting me in the rear.
That's a bad experience, let me tell you.
Definitely, and I think that Root Gaming is actually setting up for the Fire Giant in right side. All four near this tower. Oh, they might actually pick off this Guan Yu on right lane.
That's certainly what they're going for. They've got everything warded up. They're probably feeling pretty confident right now.
I'm gonna slow it down just a little bit for the slow-mo action cam. Guan Yu. Oh my goodness, that troll mirror blocking off that Guan Yu from harm. He's actually saved the enemy team with that wall. And I'm gonna
that's always a bad feeling when you're a mirror, when you screw up the wall.
That troll mirror is just so strong. And back to one time speed rather. And let's see what is going to happen. Guan Yu's ultimate is down, but he's engaging on the Poseidon. Thor up in the air, going down to half speed right now. And Thor with that huge Anvil Dawn on that Poseidon. Loki coming in for the gank, doing so much damage on that Poseidon. Poseidon gets out without launching a single Kraken. And that ulti from Outquang only hitting that Sobek. Ymir's Shards of Ice gets Aegis by Guan Yu. Ymir is now caught out of lane. Odin is caught out of lane. Ymir's pulled by that Sobek charge prey. Artemis finally coming late into the battle. She's doing a massive amount of damage on that On here throwing down his Aegis to block that Caledonian Boar. Guan Yu very low. Loki's still in the battle, very much so. Thor with his Tectonic Rift on Artemis, doing a lot of damage with his Berserker's Barrage, about a third damage. Thor's now frozen. Loki's coming in from behind. Do they see him? No! He does get a wonderful backstep on Artemis, and Artemis now forced to Aegis to maybe save herself, but again, Loki's damage just so consistent, so high, no one really able to kill him. Odin and Ymir charge prey. He's caught out in lane again. Anya stunning him to... Oh, doesn't stun, but pushes him to the side. But now Ymir is stuck, nowhere to go. Ao Kwang gets not assassinated, but stealth by that Loki. Loki with another backstep. Uh-oh, this Ao Kwang is in a lot of trouble. And it looks like he's able to escape, but look how low Curse Gaming is. I'm going back to one-time speed to see if anybody is able to secure this kill on this Ao Kwang. And it looks like Curse Gaming able to successfully just back, and it does look like all of Curse Gaming backs, and it's going to be a free Fire Giant for Curse Gaming.
Now, what I'm kind of wondering is whether or not Odin or Ao Kwang right now are going to attempt to maybe steal the Fire Giant, because I think that's really their only and best hope at this point, since most of them are dead and they know where Curse is going.
Exactly. Ao Kwang does have his ultimate. Unfortunately, it's not up yet, so he can't use his ultimate to steal that Fire Giant. It's a famous play. It's a favorite play of most Ao Kwangs to try and just ulti that big bad boy down. But no, look at Curse Gaming just doing so much damage on that Fire Giant.
Then Fire Giant is down in seconds.
That is just so quick, especially at the 25-minute mark. Poseidon might be caught out of lane. No, he just escapes barely with his life. On here using his ultimate for that buff. And that was actually a little bit of a waste, but it's not going to really harm Curse Gaming because they do have that Fire Giant.
Yeah, they're probably feeling pretty confident right now. They're probably not too worried about burning that ult. And you do see a lot of Curse doing things like that throughout the tournament, where they get to where they're feeling pretty confident about where they are, and they start doing some very risky things.
They do. And maybe Root can take advantage of this, but right now it's a 4K gold advantage, and the level advantage goes out to Curse Gaming. Level 20 on that Loki, level 18 Thor, and level 17 on the Hen here. Just very, very high. And it looks like they're trying to engage in right lane, and they might actually be able to take this tower no problem.
Yeah, I can't think of a whole lot that Root's going to be able to do to stop them at this point, at least as far as saving this tower specifically.
And they are diving that tower. That's Sobek going ham on that tower, and they were able to knock it down about to half health, or just over half. And on here just getting a few more spears in. His spear's just doing so much damage against that tower. I hope they bought homeowners insurance on that tower, because it's going to be broken down very soon. They're going to have to rebuild it for the next match.
Oh, yeah. And Thor throwing down a Tectonic Rift there to try and push Root back. It doesn't really do a whole lot, but they're doing pretty well anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Exactly. That tower, again, going down so low. It's now just under 40%, just going down to maybe 30% now.
And they're just kind of picking at it. I'm not sure. It looks like Poseidon's actually away from the group getting a buff. I don't know.
And let's slow this down.
If he really could have helped, though. Oh!
And it looks like they are starting to engage. A Kraken coming down on here and Sobek, but on here using his Aegis to block that. Odin going down to that Sobek on here combo. Loki trying to do some damage. Guan Yu frozen in. Oh, Thor dives the tower on that Poseidon. And oh my goodness, Poseidon taking so much damage that Guan Yu is very, very low. But I think he's going to manage to get away. Thor behind them. And Poseidon, they both getting Tectonic Rift here. Artemis gets pulled by that Sobek into on her and Loki, and that's not a place you want to be. And an ultimate coming down on that Artemis. The Artemis pops sprint to escape. No, he does not get it. Einherjar actually gets 2 kills for 1 with Poseidon and Artemis in that same hit. Einherjar is looking for blood. He demands blood for his blood god. And look at this, another pillar shifting stance coming out. Loki jumping on the outclimb. Oh my god, Einherjar stealing that kill, and oh no, this Ymir is trapped in the corner of that pillar. And this does not look good for this Ymir. And Zapman with a quadra kill and scoring a deicide. Him just getting all that massive damage off at the end.
And that's pretty much GG right there.
Exactly. Kurt's just gonna go in here and just mop up this Minotaur. Minotaur's name is Bobby. He likes long walks on the beach. He likes long drives on the cliff, and he likes fast
Bobby
cars.
the Minotaur.
And he's not gonna survive. Oh, Bobby is having a bad day. And on here,
Bobby, we hardly knew ye.
We did. We hardly knew you. And on here, a Hungry Lion gonna be able to eat that Minotaur all in one sitting. And so this first game, goes to Curse Gaming. And so what are your thoughts? What are your impressions? And what are your hopes for both these teams?
Oh man, hopefully I just want to see some more of both of them in the future. And I think the thing that really struck me the most about this game was, in addition to just how close it was for most of it, there were quite a few times, like at least at the beginning, where Curse seemed kind of down but not out. They were losing mid a little bit early on, just as far as the farm goes. They were losing left lane with the team fights a little bit early on. Right lane was just kind of banging their heads together, so neither team was really winning that lane. And so at least initially they were behind on gold, they were behind on kills, but the difference was always negligible. It was always small enough that it wasn't really a huge deal for Curse to just kind of, double down and make a comeback.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and I think that Root was unable to capitalize on a few opportunities, even with that Ymir trolling them a little bit, even saving the enemy at times. And if that continues to happen, then
you don't want to be the enemy team MVP when you're the Ymir, but sometimes that's just how it goes. That's just how it is sometimes,
It is unfortunate. And let's look at this player damage tab. This is my favorite tab. Me being a right lane carry for my own team, Quake, I just love to see player damage. And we can see that Artemis does 16.5k, the most on Root as expected. And Ao Kuang doing almost 10k. But you can see in the right lane that on here, Loki and Thor combined do about 37k damage. So definitely out damaging Root's team as a combination. And then
it's actually kind of surprising, and not to not to imply anything, because these guys are way better at this game than I could possibly be, but I was actually kind of surprised by how little damage Lassie's managed to do with Poseidon, and I think a lot of that just comes down to the players he was up against playing really smartly and really safely. They seem to be kind of hugging the tower for the longest time until something else happened that would give them a chance to push.
Exactly. Poseidon is actually a huge factor. He's able to do so much damage with that Kraken, but unfortunately Lassie's unable to capitalize. A lot of good Aegises coming out to prevent that Kraken damage. And
I don't remember, but I think most, if not all, of the players in this match had Aegis Amulet. Yeah, it looks like everyone on Root did, and most of Curse did.
Alright, and let's look at these builds as we switch over to this abilities tab. And we can see that Curse, the best, Loki and Thor, both did not have Aegis. They went Puri Beads to just keep that damage stream constant. But let's look a quick look at these builds here. We can see definitely that not too many people finish their builds. It looks like Curse Gaming about just barely finishing their third items for most
Yeah,
of it.
this was a fairly short match, all things considered. Like we didn't really get to see any real sort of late game. We had a single fire giant. I think the Gold Fury went down what twice, three times. So not a very long extended fight here. In spite of how close it was, and normally you would think a close match, you think in terms of just how long it went on, but this was just sort of neck and neck until somewhere at the last second, a big team fight completely tipped the scales and it all ended just at once.
Exactly. So hopefully Root can maybe get a big team fight in their favor and maybe come back from a 1-0 loss right now or 0-1 loss right now.
Hmm.
And again, special thank you to TDOTCRFH4. That is his YouTube channel. Again, I'm going to link it below, so be sure to check out his side of the commentary and see his channel, see what else he has on for you guys. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And
Thank you.
as always, peace, love, and ninja. Peabutnutterninja signing out.